Many things about tomorrow I don't seem to understand, but I know who holds tomorrow, and I know He holds my hand. God's Lamb is enough to get you in. God's Lamb's enough to get you through. All you got to do is place it all in His hands.
Right.
There you go. Amen.
And then watch as He brings you through whatever comes your way. Amen.
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 Number 3, and I'm done. God's Lamb is more than enough not only to get you in and get you through, but He's enough to get you out.
Amen.
Yeah. Amen. Amen.
He's enough to get you out
Amen.
of the mess you are in.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Amen.
No matter what may be holding you, no matter what may be tying you down, no matter what kind of bondage you may be under, God's Lamb is enough to get you out.
Amen. Amen.
He can deliver you from all kinds of things.
Yes,
Amen.
He can deliver you from your addictions. He can deliver you from your habits. He can deliver you from your strongholds. He can tear down all the walls and all the petitions. He can take you out of whatever your circumstances are.
Amen.
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 God's Lamb is more than enough for that job.
Yes.
About 4 years ago, my wife and I got a big old boy. Well, he's 36 years old now. You can't hardly call that a boy. He's 6'8", weighs about 275 pounds. You really can't call that a boy.
Hey.
About 4 years ago, he decided to go deer hunting. He climbed up in a tree stand some 24 feet high. It was bow season. He had tied all his equipment onto a rope, and when he went up there, he brought it up, and then he sat down on one side of that stand to pull his equipment up to him. When he slid over to that side, the strap that held that tree stand broke, and it collapsed with him in it. He fell 24 feet into the ground. When he came to himself, this is what he told me. He said, "Dad, when I realized I wasn't dead." Now that won't get a hold of your heart as a dad. What will? He said, "When I realized I wasn't dead, blood was proceeding out of his mouth. It bit his tongue almost in two. It landed kind of in a sitting position. He's right-handed. His right arm was broke, right below the wrist. His left index finger was pointed to the east. He reached and took that finger and pulled it until he got it back in place. Then he tried to stand up. When he tried to stand up, he realized he didn't have any legs. The L4 at the bottom of his spine was fractured in little bitty pieces. So then he proceeded to crawl. Like men in combat, on their knees, on their belly, with their elbows. He couldn't pull with that hand, so he was pulling himself with his elbows. The state of North Carolina came and measured and did a report on it, and they always do in an accident such as that. He crawled 185 yards. God was in charge of it all the way.
Amen. Amen.
He had fallen in a place that was just barely big enough for him to land without killing himself. That area had been mowed with a bush hog, and there were trees that were sticking up about 6 to 8 inches high. Had he fallen on them, he would have been pierced through and through. But he landed in an area where none of that was.
Amen.
He crawled through a dry creek bed up until a wooded area, and then he would get a hold of a sapling and drag himself to it, and then reach and get another one and drag himself to it, till he got back to the four-wheeler that brought him in there. When he got to that four-wheeler, he thought, how am I going to get on it? He can't stand up. He drug himself around to the side. He reached up and got a hold of the handlebar and tried to pull himself up, and that didn't work. He didn't have any support with his legs. So he crawled around to the wrong side of the four-wheeler, braced himself up, and sat up against it with his back. He said, Lord, please, I need some help. He reached up with that one arm and took hold of the handlebar on that side, and with one hard pull, he pulled himself up high enough that he sat back on the saddle, reached and pulled his left leg up and dropped it over and straddled that machine, reached in his pocket, took out the key, cranked it, and drove to hell.
Amen.
Got him in the hospital. There was no accident, but the #1 back surgeon in the state of North Carolina was on call that night.
Amen. Amen.
They got him into surgery about midnight that night. They brought him back to his room, set him in his room, and said, now we just got to wait and see. The next day, when all of us were there and he had come around, he couldn't move his legs. The doctor looked at us and said, we don't know if he'll ever walk again. We believe that surgery was a success. We were in the window of opportunity, but we do not know. His L4 had to be carried out, taken out in little pieces, and he now is put together with 2 8-inch steel rods and 4 screws. Two days later, we were still there. The doctor came in. He had still not moved his legs. My wife and I decided to go get us some lunch that day. We walked across that large corridor of that hospital going to the cafeteria. And I saw a brother get up from the door way over on this side and head in my direction. I'd never seen him. He'd never seen me. A black brother. And as he walked over our way, I saw his eyes as he was trying to get my attention. And he walked up in front of me. My wife was just a step in front of me, and he stuck out his hand. I reached and took him by the hand, and he said, are you a preacher? I said, yes, sir. I plead guilty. I'll never forget this. As he reached and put his other hand around mine, and he looked up, and he said you were.
Bless the Lord.
He said you were.
Amen.
He closed his eyes, and I saw a tear begin to trickle down his face. And he squeezed my hand, and he said, he sent me to tell you, it's going to be all right. He had no idea why I was there. He just had a message from God for my soul.
Amen.
It's going to be all right.
Amen.
I said, thank you, my brother. I sure didn't need to hear that. After we ate lunch, we went back to my son's room, walked into the room, went over and I laid my hand on his shoulder. When I did, he moved his leg.
Amen.
Not far. No, it wasn't about 3 inches. He moved his leg.
Amen.
After a couple hours, he moved the other one a little bit. That night, the doctor came in and he said, well, I still don't know if he'll ever walk normally or not. This was in September. He said, but we hope to have him walking with an apparatus by Christmas. His PA that was with him, fine Christian girl, looked over at us when the doctor had left and she said, you know, I don't know what his opinion is, but you never can tell what God will do.
Amen. Amen.
2 weeks later, we brought the boy home. He started in therapy. In November, he went back to see the doctor, little fella about this big. Went back down there to see the doctor that had done the surgery. We rolled him in there in a wheelchair, took him up in front of the door. He said, whoa. They opened up the door. He stood to his feet. And he walked without an apparatus in front of that doctor. And he stood up. And that doctor said,
Amen.
the Lamb of God is more than enough to get you out.
Amen. Amen.
He's more than enough to get you
Amen.
out.
Right. Amen.
One of these days, just any day, there's going to be a trumpet sound.
Amen.
And a voice ring out with a shout. And when it does, we're going to leave here.
Amen.
Matter of fact, we're going to be caught away.
Amen. Hallelujah.
And a lot of Baptist folks don't like the word rapture because it's not in the King James Bible.
Yeah.
We're going to be caught away to
Yeah.
meet the Lord in the air. It
Amen.
means exactly the same thing. There's going to be a lot of rapture.
Amen. Amen.
There's going to be a lot of rapture
Amen.
when He calls us out of here.
Right. Amen. Hallelujah. Amen. Hallelujah.
No more pain, no more heartache,
Amen.
no more burdens,
Right.
no more sadness, no more sorrow, no more sickness. I hate to tell you, ladies, but there won't even be anything to buy.
Amen.
In other words, you won't even get to go shopping.
Amen.
Every man in here ought to said hallelujah right there.
Hallelujah.
We'll never have another pain. We'll never take another pill.
Amen.
We'll never pay another bill.
Right. Amen.
There won't be any budget.
Right. Amen.
And nobody will be on a budget in glory.
Amen.
The mansion I've got waiting over there will make the Taj Mahal look like a mud hut.
Right. Amen. Yeah. Amen.
God's Lamb is more than enough to take you out.
Amen.
Just any day now, our Lord is coming. He'll be returning for you and me.
Amen.
Oh, I've been watching and I've been waiting. Just any day now, His face I'll see.
Amen. Hallelujah.
He's more than enough. There in that verse, the Bible said if the lamb is too big, it's more than enough for your household. Go next door. Get your neighbors to come in.
Amen.
Amen.
He's more than enough
Amen.
to save even to the uttermost.
Right.
All who come unto God by Him.
Yeah.
The biggest responsibility that you and I as children of God have today is to tell more people about Him. That they might find Him precious to their soul. I know that the hardest ones for you to witness to are to your family. But if you don't, who will?
Yes, sir. Amen. Amen.
If you don't, who will?
Yes.
Oh, they'll get mad. They'll throw me out. Give them the opportunity.
Amen. Amen.
God's more than enough. He's worth more than enough.
Right. Yeah.
Because He's their only hope. Amen.
Amen.
Where do you stand with Him tonight? What are you doing for the Lamb of God tonight?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Tell others about Him who died, they might be. What kind of influence are you being? Are you enough? But the message of the gospel is more than sufficient.
Yeah. Amen. Amen.
Amen. If they won't hear the plain truth, they won't hear somebody that came back from the dead.
That's right. Amen. Right.
Tell them what He's done for you, what He's brought you through, what His promises are concerning you, how that He's more than enough to take care of them too. Stand to your feet.